Hey y'all, so I actually recorded this video. It was very chaotic, but we're gonna just see how it goes. So I actually started off with my brows. Sometimes I use Gorilla Snot, sometimes I use edge control, but it just depends on how long they are. And clearly I need my brows done, but I'm trying to grow them out to get them where I want them, so I'm not gonna cut them. But yeah, I'm just smoothing on the edge control right now, trying to get them where I want them. I'm showing you guys what I use to wash my face. The Ordinary is my favorite. The Squalene cleanser gets off your makeup, oil, everything. It's the bomb. So then I go in with the caffeine solution just around my eyes. It gets rid of puffiness and inflammation, and I love it. It feels so good, and it's a great base for your makeup. This whole routine. It's called the Bright Set. I'll link it in my description. Love it. I think it was like $50, but it's lasted me for months, and it has cleared my skin up so much. So I just pat that into my skin. My skin looks so good. Oh, and it also helps with the darkness and dark circles around your eyes. I'd say it's working, if you ask me. So yeah, I'm just rubbing this in. I used to really care about the bags under my eyes, especially when it came to my concealer. Don't care. It's normal. So now I'm using the ethylated ascorbic acid. Putting this everywhere. I probably put a little too much, honestly, because it's strong. But I love how this feels on my skin. Like I said, great base for my makeup. My skin feels very nourished. And I just go right in with, if I was going out on a normal day, I would just go in with my SPF and then my lotion. But I'm done my makeup, so I love how this feels. It has like a tackiness to it. So I go right in with my primer after I rub this into my skin. I wonder what I was thinking about. Oh, I think I was thinking about my skin and just how it feels and what primer I was going to use or something. So I'm using the e.l.f. primer. I like this primer for like dewy makeup looks, but honestly, I should have used my Hydra Grip, but I ran out, so this is my backup. I have the Laura Mercier. I think it's poreless or something like that. I really don't like it because it has like a muddy kind of texture to it, and I almost use that. Don't you hate when you do your makeup and you do something that you don't normally do and then you hate it? Yeah, I was not going through that. So I'm going to just use this. And I love how it smooths out. It really does blur my skin, honestly. But I just feel like it doesn't set how I want it to. And I feel like it kind of can make my makeup move around. So just for the sake of the video, I'm using it. But normally, Hydra Grip, 1,000%. And I make sure it's all rubbed in. So now I'm actually doing the tail of my brows. Like I said, I'm not cutting them because I'm letting them grow out. So I'm just putting on eyelash glue, and I'm just gonna basically make it into like a straight line as best as I can. Because I know y'all see these edges. My hair is pretty coarse, so I really like for my eyebrows to go to a point at the end as much as I can get them, but they never do if I don't get them done. My lips was definitely dry. So I'm just putting them together. And honestly, I wish I would have skipped this part just because sometimes I forget to clean up after and I can have residue of the lash glue on my face. So when I put my concealer on, it stresses me out. I'm not gonna lie, it stresses me out. But you'll see. But makeup is, you can always fix whatever you do. It's never a big deal. So now I take the Morphe #2 for my brows. I honestly mixed some pigment in here because it was not my shade. But I love how it makes my brows look. I just wish, I don't know, I wish it was more of like a deeper tone because it's kind of gray. And I feel like this is not a natural eyebrow color. But, I mean, it gets the job done. See, I liked it and I did it, so. And I try my best to do, like, strokes that a normal brow would look like. Not trying to make it perfect, but just making everything connect. Because my eyebrows are already dark as they are, and I really don't care too much to fill them in unless I have a brow pencil. In my opinion, I just feel like the brow pencil is just the best, especially when you have, like if you use like a gel or a pomade and you have straighter brows, then I think a pencil would definitely suit you better. I'm showing you which shades of the Juvia's Place concealer that I'm using. I'm using 13 and 17. And I'm just using the wand from the Neutrogena concealer because both my concealers from Juvia's Place are running low. So I was just using that wand. And then I just carve it out as much as I can. I don't know why I really like light concealer under my brows. Probably because I don't really highlight my brows, so it kind of just does it for me. I'm not really too picky about my brows. Like I said, they're kind of dark already, so they're going to stand out regardless. But I should get them done sometime soon just because it does make my makeup come out better. But yeah, the concealer isn't that light. It's just the lighting got bad. I feel like it's the perfect shade for me because I love light concealer. Now I'm just really trying my best to make them look related. I mean, be for real, I'm not a makeup artist, okay? We're having fun. So now I'm just wetting my beauty sponge with the Fix It Plus. And I don't really care too much for it. Maybe that's just me, but I'd rather use that than water. That is my favorite setting spray is, I believe, the Laura Mercier. I have to look it up. I'm going to insert it in the description. But, oh my goodness, the best setting spray. I ran out, of course. So now I'm just blending it out as best as I can. Like I said, I added the lash glue, and that's where I messed up because on the tail of the brow, I got a little bit on my skin, and I feel like it kind of can disrupt the blending, if you will, and it won't be as smooth. But, we get it together eventually. And I noticed, I used to get mad, but now, I kind of know how to fix it. So I'm just blending it out. Because honestly, once you put on your foundation and your contour, everything is going to melt together. But, of course, in the beginning, it kind of looks a little crazy. So you see me scratching off that glue. And you just keep blending. And I think when you spray a setting spray or a setting mist or something, not even a setting spray, but Fix It Plus, I don't really consider a setting spray because it helps my makeup move around. But I would never use it to set my face. I would use a Morphe setting spray or the Laura Mercier. But I would recommend to use the Fix It Plus whenever you do your brow, especially if you're using like an e.l.f. concealer, because the e.l.f. concealers are so mattifying and they definitely dry very fast. So the more moisture that you have, that helps you move your concealer around and blend it better, then that's better. I'm just fixing up my brow hairs. They just be doing their own thing. I just love this part of doing the makeup. Like, the whole process is so fun to me, but just seeing it all come together, I love it. Watching everything blend, and just kind of turn out how you want it to. And I'm still learning. I'm still, finding things that I like and that I don't like about the process of makeup. Blend. And I also want to say, too, the hydrating primer that I put on the e.l.f., I think that it does help my concealer blend a lot better as well, because it's the only thing that's up under, my concealer. So I think that's also what is helping it blend a little bit better. I wish I would have wet my beauty blender a little bit more, but it turned out fine. I mean, it's blending out fine. I was having trouble on the tail of my brows. Like I said, I just be doing stuff, but I also don't really care about how it looks on my lid, because I'm going to go in with primer anyway and, do my eyeshadow. So I really could care less how it's blended further down. So I use the Healthy Physicians foundation. I am the most uninfluenced person on the internet. I will use this foundation till I die. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have other foundations that I absolutely love, but this foundation, it just is, I just enjoy it. I don't know what it is about it. I bought it years ago and I just haven't stopped since. The shade match is so satisfying. I just enjoy the warmth of it. I enjoy how it oxidizes, and I enjoy how it looks on my skin. I don't really like too much of a full coverage foundation unless it's I have, acne and stuff like that peeking through, but it looks like skin, and I just enjoy the finish on my skin. So yeah, it'd be very rare you see me not using my consistent products. I mean, I love makeup, and I'm sure that I'll get more and try new things, but you won't not see me using this in the future. I'm still gonna use this foundation. Like, I see the same, makeup things on TikTok, and I just be like, dang, everybody has this blush. Everybody has this contour stick. Like, if I know I have something that works and I love it, baby, you ain't getting me off of it, okay? You have to physically come to me and bring me something new. Because if it ain't broke, why fix it? And especially if it's expensive. Exactly. So I'm just blending it in. Doing my checks. I actually did my screen mirroring on the TV, believe it or not. So I'm trying to just make sure everything looks good. Oh my gosh, it caught my stomach bubble. It's very late, and I probably should get like a midnight snack or something, because I am a little hungry. I'm trying to fix that damn eyebrow tail. So now I'm just kind of going over some of the spots that I can see through. Just some scarring and stuff. Like I said, this is not a full coverage foundation, but I do believe it's buildable. And I have a couple scars under my lip that I'm just going over, making sure to cover. And then I'm, being a little bit more light-handed when I get these areas. Making sure to blend it in my neck and everything. I'm so brave for doing this with a white shirt on, y'all. Like, when this video is over with, look at my shirt, because why would I do that? I love when the camera sets the lighting. I'm using number 17 Juvia's Place concealer. But I love when the lighting sets and you can see everything just blends and matches perfectly. I always love Juvia's Place concealers. They have the most beautiful coverage. They blend out amazing. And it's also a transition from my concealer, because I like to use a light concealer, like I said. So I use this as a transition so that I don't go straight to a bright under eye, but it has some sort of a gradient. And it has like a better transition as opposed to just going from a brown skin to a really bright under eye. I try to be as intentional as I can with where I place my concealer as far as placement and, amount, because I don't want to put too much for no reason, if I don't need to put that much. But I just put it where I need it, and I blend it out based off of where I want it to be, where I want it to set longer. So under my eyes, I try to give that more time to set so that it has that maximum coverage. But look at the bridge of my nose. It is setting so nice. Like, it's blending out so good. Love this concealer. I need to go try some different shades because I need to see. I'm still trying to figure out my skin. My skin color changes so much, especially in the summertime. So I'm just blending that out. And honestly, sometimes I can't even see it. Like, it blends out so nice. But also at the same time, like I said, I'm going to add another concealer on top of this. So that kind of was my point of doing it. So I just blend, blend, blend. And once it's all blended, I'm just showing you guys, how everything looks. Now, this is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. If you know, you know. This concealer has the most amazing coverage, but this concealer is nothing to play with, okay? So I'm letting her do her thing. She's baking right now. I'm going to take my e.l.f. contour palette, which I love. Like, I'm such an e.l.f. whore. The shade's perfect for my skin, especially in the summertime, even in the wintertime. I never really use any other shades unless I have a reason, but I never do. So I just put them, high points of my cheeks. I really just kind of stamp those important parts first before I get to blending, because I don't really want to put too much. Like I said, I don't really need to put too much. I used to do my makeup and put way too much, and then, it crumbles and you start getting those pieces that lift up and you can't even scratch your face. It's just too much. I want my makeup to be as flat and leveled as my skin is. So I'm just focusing on where I need everything to go, and I just push it into my skin and light-handed, just kind of make sure it's where it needs to be before I blend it. And I'm trying to take my time too so that you can also see where the product is and also the difference that it's making as I apply it to my skin. Because this is very subtle, but also it's sort of a shadow. Just bringing that down. Pretty much using what I already placed on my skin, like I said. And I'm not standing in the same spot. I'm just kind of bringing it down, showing you where the product is. You see, midway through my cheek, not all the way down. And then I go under my chin and I kind of etch out a jawline in a way. That way it can give the appearance. And also give me a shadow to kind of cover up these chins. This is my favorite part. I say that on every part. But I just love the contrast in colors. And you can see how I have the light concealer in my eye. Then I have my cheekbones is carved out. And then right above my jawline is not dark. It's my natural skin color. And it just all blends together. Make sure I bring that contour down. Blend it into my chin. And then I just continue to blend it in. Make sure everything is blended well. And most of the brushes I'm using, I believe, are Real Techniques brush. If you really care too much about the brushes, I'll link them below. But I touch it and then I swipe my nose because I want it to be very subtle. And I just kind of carve it out because once I do my concealer and blend it out, it's possible that I could touch those parts. So I try to just subtly do this part because I'm going to go back in with powder anyway. Oh, at this part, I realized I could not find my Fenty powder. Oh my gosh, I could not freaking find it. And I think I left it in a hotel when me and my sister went to Charlotte last week. I'm so upset about it, but I'm trying to act like I don't care, but I actually do care. So I'm blending out that concealer, and I only stop at the ends of my eyes because it is so bright. I want to keep it focused on the front of my cheekbones. So I'm blending that out. I stop at the corner of my eye until I see it's blended, and I kind of turn my beauty blender to where it can blend out. Instead of just blending that shade all the way out, I just blend out what's left of the edge of it. So I'm blending it down, make sure to get inside to my nose. Sometimes I can forget that spot. Do you guys do that? I always do that sometimes when I first start doing my makeup. Blend, blend, blend. Making sure I get close to my eyes. And I don't really go down past my nose either. I just go to my eye, try to make sure that they're the same. And then once I see it's blended out, I take what's left and I just go up. Look how good that looks. So instead of using my Fenty, I ended up using my Fit Me, which I still love, but I wanted to use my Fenty. It's just the shade is just perfect, which is what I prefer. But I do love how this sets. It looks amazing, and I feel like it tones it perfectly. You'll see once I finish this eye, just the blur that it gives, and the way that it blends into my contour and my foundation. Like, it just helps it just look like it belongs there instead of so bright. Look at how good that looks. What, like be for real. Be for real. So I'm gonna do the eye. Like, look, in real time, it's just blurring it. Like, girl, what? Love me some Fit Me. Like I said, I love Fit Me, but maybe Fenty got me in the chokehold. Okay, and the powder smells good. Like, come on. I'm just getting excited watching this because I love when my makeup comes together. Like, I just love this part. So I just set everywhere else that I highlighted with this powder. And like I said, I like a bright under eye, so I am going to go in under my eyes in a second. But I'm just going to let everything be neutral. I tend to forget my lips sometimes, so I try to set that part too when I do my eyes. I'm so irritated. Like, I literally thought, I think I left it somewhere, but hopefully I found it. So I used the Wet n Wild translucent powder, and I literally only put this in the corners of my eyes. Like, I only put it there just for that extra added brightness, and I let it bake. I wouldn't use my Fenty. Well, I'd set with my Fenty, and then I would do the same step. And then afterwards, if it was too bright, I would use my Fit Me. But since I don't have it, this is what I'm doing. So I just kind of carve out my nostrils as well as I'm doing this. Just because, like I said, you want to be intentional. And especially if you're a beginner, wherever you place things, placement is very important. You have a lot of leeway. You can mess up a lot of times with makeup because it's always fixing it, but placement is very important. And I feel like once you learn placement, you then can play around with different things. So I try to just make sure my nose is good how I want it. Use that extra that's left over for everywhere else, setting it, giving it a little bit more brightness, but not too much. Now I'm going to go in, and I think I'm actually going to do my cheeks. So I'm just going to reverse contour with the flat side of the Beauty Blender. I know it's beat up. Look, don't do her, okay? I'm just going to reverse contour with the flat side, and I'm going to basically try to show the contour in my cheekbone naturally, and then follow that line all the way to my lip. I love when this sets, and I love how it makes my contour look kind of snatched without having to do too much. I don't really blend out my contour way down, so it kind of just naturally snatches my face. And the only advice I can really give for this part is to make sure that your line is consistent, so that when you do dust this off or set it or spray it or whatever you do, that it looks, consistent, like a line. Not necessarily a line, but like the powder will consistently carve out your face in a line, so that it will give the effect that you have, that chiseled contour. And then I just blend the bottom out so that it doesn't look like a harsh line on the bottom. Next, I take the MAC blush in Blunt. And I actually recently found this. I love it. I actually use it for my contour because I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer in Saddle, but I broke it and actually dropped it while I was recording this video. This video was so chaotic, but I can't even show you guys behind the scenes because I just was going through it. But I still finished it. So yeah, I'm using that as contour. And I'm just, like I said, I'm touching the spots that it needs to be first. And then I blend it out. So right now I'm just kind of going right above my reverse contour, making sure I don't knock it off. You know, it's not done baking. And then I just go with everywhere else that I contoured, making sure to set those and not, you know, stay in the same place too long, just to kind of have that movement and make sure all that cream is set with the powder. And I like to tilt my brush to the side when I do this part so that it's not the product directly on my cheekbones, but more so just moving the product that's already there. And then I go with my forehead and I go into that Fit Me powder a little bit closer so that it blends better and it's not just sitting beside it. And then I do my nose and I just really take the part that's left on there because you can see it's enough product on there to go on my nose and make a difference. And then yeah, I just continue to sit and bring that down. Now I'm pressing in the reverse contour, not swiping away, I'm pressing it in. And then as soon as I can see that it's all pressed in, I leave it alone because it's going to make a difference when everything is all sprayed down and everything is done. Take the same brush and then I press in that translucent powder, that Wet n Wild powder, and I just let everything melt in pretty much. It gives me the brightness that I want where I want it. And I also use just the leftovers just to blend in that contour that I just finished doing. I know you're probably like, dang, that little reverse contour is a little crazy. Just wait, I'm going to blend that out as well. And it's going to look so good. Yes, I love it. What I've been seeing lately on TikTok is actually how people have been doing, what do you call it? Like a blush concealer type thing. Well, what I like to say is I like to use a transition blush. So I use, this is a NARS blush. I forgot, Orgasm, I think it's Orgasm. And I basically put it like right up under my under eye, right at the curve of my nose, not above my nostril, because I want to go in with the blush, but I don't want to overpower and it just be like a blush sitting in one spot. I want it to be a little bit blended out. You'll see. So I take the P. Louise base and I just go in. I have no rhyme or reason. Like literally there's no specific way I do this. I just blend it out with my flat brush. It's like an angled flat brush because I like to make sure that it gets everywhere I want it, especially close to my lid. And then I take my beauty blender and I just blend it out to where it's all even and like there's no patches and whatnot. Because honestly, I'm not like a perfectionist when it comes to my eyeshadow. And my eyeshadow really looks the same majority of the time. So I guess I should probably do more videos like this and try to do different looks. Comment below some different colors I should incorporate because I stick to my nudes and my browns. You'll see. I stick to my nudes and browns. I might do a glitter here and there, but baby, I'm not steering away from what I know. So once it's on there like that, I take my beauty blender and I just boop, 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 tap it until it's all pretty even. That looks good. Like I said, it's going to get blended out anyway, so I'm not even worried about it. But I love this P. Louise. I'm still trying to figure out how to use it to where it can benefit me best. But I kind of want to buy different shades and see what all you can do with them. Because I've seen people use the different color ones and then use those colors in foundations and it looks so good. And I'm like, why would I not think of that? Like, that's so smart. So once those two matches, I use my Morphe palette. I believe it's the, I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna link that in the description. I want to say it's the 25A. I think it is. But of course, what am I used to? I go to my nudes and my browns. So that one right there, I take it and I literally just pack it on. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways you can do this. So I pack it on, right? I just take it, tap it in there, pack it on, and I blend it out. So you can pack it on like this, wherever you want it. And after you finally put it in your crease how you want it, then you'll take it and you'll basically disperse it. Okay, you want to go in circular motions, especially if you use the P. Louise base because it's kind of tacky. But you want to pick your brush up and put it down really fast. Or you can go in circular motions. And then I start to go at the edges and I bring it out more and more and more. So once it goes out further, I could bring it out more. I bring it down to the bridge of my nose just a little bit. Going in those circular motions, I start bringing it back to the bone of my eye under my brow. And then I just keep going in circular motions until it's blended out to my liking. I'm going to diffuse this color, but I just love going in with my dark shades first. I like having that control. So you just keep blending it out. Go only on the edges, and the more you blend out those edges, stay right on top of the edges, it'll keep blending out. It's a process. It's not going to be the fastest time. It's not going to be something that you can just do in 2 swipes. You got to keep blending it out. You got to keep dragging that powder and getting it where you want it. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye, except I'm going to show you how to add little by little. So right now I just touched it once and I'm just swiping it where I want it. And you see you dip back in there, and you can also go little by little, putting it where you want it if you're scared of adding too much or, doing something that you might not like. You see how I'm adding it little by little, and then I'm building it. So I'm diffusing it, adding more, diffusing it, adding more. And I'm just fanning out those edges little by little. There's no speed limit. There's no rules. You're just doing it. And since I know what I'm doing, I'm going to go ahead and just pack it on there. But just to show you guys that you can do it either way, whichever makes you comfortable. But you can also get the same result doing things different ways. So I'm going to keep blending it out. Circular motion. And I'm also going to pick my brush up and put it down very fast. So it can kind of look like I'm tapping. Keep on blending those edges. And just do your best to make them look similar and, get the desired result that you want. And I already know that I'm going to go in and I'm going to diffuse these edges. So I'm not really worried about the edges. I'm more so just focused on getting that pigment on there and making sure that it's blended seamless. So I'm bringing that color down, making sure those edges are blended out. Not too much in my brows, but I'm not scared to touch them, I do that's why I use the bright concealer, because I don't really highlight my brows. I let the concealer do that thing, So going back in, making sure everything is what it needs to be. I love how it looks in my inner corner. I love how it looks. I should do a different look and put eyeshadow there often. I love it. Now I'm going in with this lighter shade, and I believe this is a Real Techniques brush. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it on the edges, and I'm literally going to put it right on top and just blend. And as you can see, when I tap it in again, you'll see in a second. Hold on, let's see. I'm not scared. Tap, tap, tap. You see that color payoff? I'm not scared. I'm going right in, and you can see it. It's sitting on top of it, and then I just start to blend it in, and it immediately blurs those edges and blends it into my skin tone. Blurring it out, still keeping that depth closer to my lid, but giving me the blur that I want. Keep adding the more you want to diffuse. And I'm just blending, 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 making sure it's giving me the look that I'm going for. Starting a little at a time would help you, because you can build up to wherever you want to be instead of just putting stuff. So I'm putting this little by little, blending, 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 making sure that it's turning out just how I like it, making sure that both my eyes match. And I'm just blending. I love how this came out. I'm so glad that I did this eye look, because I actually was very satisfied with it. Funny, actually, my phone died right before I finished. So I turned my phone back on, and all of a sudden this footage was not in my photos. I'm talking about at all. So that when I finished this makeup look, the whole time, I thought that I didn't get this part of the footage, like my whole eyeshadow part. But I kept going. Something told me just to keep recording and just finish it. So I did. And I'm very glad that I did. So, yeah, I ended up finishing it and checking my camera roll, and the video was back. And I was like, what? Hey, I'm not going to complain. So that was my little motivational don't give up for the day. So I'm using this brush now. And I'm going to go in with this beautiful gold, like shimmer. Girl, click. I didn't know which one I wanted at the time. But yes, I go in with this gold. I love a good little moment, especially a gold one, and add it right in the middle. I would say this is a halo, but honestly, it's more so all over the lid, and I end up doing like a gradient. You could leave it like this. You really could. It's very pretty, but I like to blend it in a little bit more. I think some ways that you could make your makeup look more intricate and look more next level is just blending and also placement. You could take concealer and use this same brush and carve it out and then put this color, and that would be so beautiful. Or you could even just do what I'm doing and then blend it out a little bit more. I'm just bringing it up higher and higher. And then I'm going to go back in with that same brush that I actually blurred out that first shade with. And I'm going to blend it better. But right now I'm just packing it on as best as I can, seeing how much I want. Blending in those two shades. And then I'm like, okay, now I see this is where I want it to be. It's as high as I want it. And this is like a cream shadow, so it's going wherever you put it. It's not really that hard to move. So back with the same brush, and I'm not even picking up any product. I'm just blending that gold, pretty much marrying those colors all together in the middle of my lid so that it looks like a family and they look like very cohesive and not like one is just sitting on top of the other. And I feel like this makes your makeup go from beginner to intermediate. You can easily step up your makeup game with some of the small steps and little things and the details. Like I said, placement is very important. So I'm using this flat part of my brush, making it very skinny. I think I have lash glue on there. And I use this because I love a wing, but I don't like the precision of a wing. No, I'm not perfect enough. So I love giving myself a wing and then smudging it out and then adding a darker shadow. I just feel like it elongates my eye and also gives me some depth very subtly because I don't really like using dark colors too much. I just don't like the cleanup, and I feel like I make so many mistakes and I'm just not there yet. But I love doing this. And then smudging it out, adding a darker shade because I feel like when I put my lashes on, it gives that depth that I need in my eyes. So I'm kind of tight lining it somewhat at the top, but I'm just blending that line into my lashes. Making sure that they're as dark as I want them and, the lines connect and everything. Because like I said, I'm going to smudge this out, so. And then I actually go underneath my eye. I like to do a little, I don't know, I like to make them connect. I feel like it makes my eyes pop, and I also do bottom mascara, so I love adding the dark color down there. I'm still working on learning how to do this and not looking like it hurts. Going back in with this brush, and I'm smudging it out. Like I said, I love how this looks. I love it. It gives me that sharpness right at the pupil of my eye, right above my pupil on my eyelid, but it also smudges it out and gives me that depth at the end, and it's like a little secret shadow. I love that. Now I go in with the opposite side of that sharp, well, yeah, same side pretty much, and I use the gold, and I'm going in with my inner corner, and I'm just adding that in at the bottom of my waterline, not even on my waterline, just like right below it, because I always get shadow in my eye, and it's so irritating. I think I still did, but I'm adding it in right there just for that pop of color. And I'm going in, following that line that I just made with that smudge, and I'm just adding in a little bit of a dark shade, and then I'm blending it up only in the V of my crease. Like, I'm not even going too far up because I don't want it to, stand out too much. I just want to add some depth in the, what would you call this? In the little crevice of my eye, in the corner right there. And I'm just blending that out. And I think that also can make your look more suitable for nighttime. I feel like nighttime looks and like adding this, like shades like this in the corner, like very subtly, can give you a very sultry look. Love that. I really hate that my nose ring is turned this whole video. Like, I never turn my nose ring the correct way. My friends are gonna say something about it, I know. I don't be paying attention, child. Like, I be forgetting I got this thing in. So I'm actually adding my blush, and I'm so glad I did the little blush transition because it's a very pink blush. It's very cool. This is like some pinks mixed from the Juvia's Place palette. I just mixed the two pinks in that palette, the Walhalla 2 palette, and I made a blush with them, and I think it looks so good. The only thing I would have changed is I wish I would have used a deeper blush because this look was more of a nighttime look. And yeah, I just wish I would have went a little bit deeper with my blush. But other than that, I still love this look. So I'm going on my nose, doing my highlight, seeing if it shows up, and it don't. I'm gonna go back in anyway with a Fenty matchstick. But I'm just adding my highlights to my little spots. I know my brows look crazy, but we're gonna fix those. I usually get foundation and powder and stuff on them anyway, so I'm gonna go back and brush those out and fix those because my hair is so curly, y'all. It does not stay with anything. If you have any recommendations, please let me know. But I always have to go back in at the end and do my brows to make sure that they're in the right place. So right now, I believe I'm fixing my lashes. Trying to see. So I actually put my lashes on the easiest way known to man. If you guys don't know, it is easier to put your lashes on by putting on your lash glue on your lash line first, then putting your lash glue on your lashes. That way, your lash line is gonna dry first. So now you have somewhere your lashes can sit and hold on to. Then, once your lashes dry on your lashes, the lash glue dries on your lashes, it's basically just they're holding hands. It's basically like a Velcro. Look, trust me, if you ain't doing it this way, baby, you're making it harder for yourself. Because if you do it this way, you can put your lashes on with just your finger. You don't even need tweezers. But that's just me. Thanks to Beats by Deb for this tip years ago. Look at how good that eyeshadow look. Girl, where you going? Nowhere. I was going to say Instagram, but I didn't even take pictures for real. I thought I lost footage, so I literally took a couple pictures and that was really it. I was going to be like, I'm going to just make a TikTok or something. But look, I have the footage. So I'm just putting the glue on these lashes and setting them down. Child, I hate waiting for lash glue to dry, but this is the best lash glue. What lash glue is this? I have to put that in the description too because I do not remember. It's the green one. The green one. So now I'm just checking everything. I'm actually going to go back in with the contour brush that I used. And I'm going to blur out the beginning of those lines. Like I said, the reverse contour lines. Now they don't look so harsh. And it just looks sharp at the ends where the contour starts. So I put the tip of the lash in the front down first. Close my eye. Fix the butt. Make sure that's good. And then open my eyes, see where it needs to be put down. And I just fix it. Now, my lashes in my inner corner could have been better, but these lashes are some beauty supply store lashes, and they're kind of thick. The bands were kind of thick. So, I'm honestly just working with what I got. I could have used some different ones, but I like these. I guess they just didn't like me today. But yeah, I just keep, maneuvering them. I'm not touching the band. I'm more so touching the middle of the lashes because, they're dry already. It's just sticky. But you don't want to keep touching it because the oils in your fingers can make it not sticky. And then you got to go back in and fix it. So I'm just touching the hairs of the lashes, not the band. But I'm pushing the band into my eye, holding it, and letting it dry. So I'm making sure that my hairs are all straight underneath my lashes so that you don't see my natural eyelashes poking through. So this is when I thought that I lost all the footage. I literally was about to cry because I put on my other lash and everything. Didn't even know it wasn't recording. I was hurting, but I charged my phone and the footage ended up being back on there. So I was like, let me just keep recording. I was so mad. So I'm doing my lips. I actually like to take my liner and use a brush and just carve out my lips because they're not really even and they have like this weird sharpness to them, but it's like my lip isn't lined as it should be naturally. So I have to go in and try to figure out how sharp I want them. So once I get that, I go in with the Anastasia, I think it's like a velvet lipstick or satin. I'll list the name if I can find it. Go in with that. Love this lip combo. I was so irritated at this point because I really thought I lost all this footage and I really posted on Snapchat and I was like, I really just posted all this. I just recorded all this for nothing. So I go in with my Dior lip gloss, only in the center, where that velvet lipstick was just at. And then I blend, and then I top it off with some lip gloss, just Beauty Supply Store lip gloss. Girl, it's the attitude, child. You are okay. I didn't want to get lipstick on my tube. Look at my shirt, though. I did good to have a white shirt on and a full face of makeup. So once that's finished, I actually go in with my Lancome. It's like a shimmer. And I put that on because I feel like it does make a difference. And it was $30, so yeah. So I finished, and the only thing I didn't do was put on bottom mascara. But I was so over it at this point. I was like, bye, y'all. Look at me. Like, I was so irritated. So, yeah. I go in with the matchstick, and I use it as highlighter, and I freaking love it. I'm not acting like it. But, like, she did her thing. She did exactly what she needed to do. Look at the lack of effort, and it's just, she's showing up. Like, girl. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah. Just putting that on there. Love how that looks. Brows. Nose, bridge, boom. I'm done. And then I ended up trying to make a video. It wasn't coming out how I wanted to because I couldn't see. I was using the back camera and I had attitude. But this is the look, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed this makeup tutorial. Give me ideas in the comments. I'm trying to be more open and do more things and step out of my comfort zone. But I really had fun with this. Like and subscribe, you guys.